It seems all you need to do is mention the word AI for the market to totally overreact to your stock. Allbirds Inc was listed on the NASDAQ in 2021. And this is a company that makes sustainable shoes. So shoes from things like hemp and sustainable cotton, that sort of thing.
But if you're looking for sustainable shoes made with natural materials, better than natural, supernatural.
And when they launched, they were really, really popular. There's photos of President Barack Obama wearing them, of other celebrities like Ben Affleck, Kate Hudson, Hilary Duff, Chris Pratt. Very, very trendy shoe. And Leonardo DiCaprio was even an early investor in the company. And when it listed on the stock exchange, it listed at a valuation of $4 billion. And as far as IPO goes, that puts it in the same company as GoPro and Fitbit. So what's happened since? Let's take a look at their financials. So their revenue has declined each year by between 15 and 20% per year, for a total decline of 50% in revenue. That's a massive drop in revenue. And their gross profit, which is the profit they make on selling the shoes before you consider things like overheads, declined by roughly the same percentage point. So these were quite a high priced shoe compared to the market. So what that means is they weren't able to sell the shoes as high as they were expecting, or the cost to produce the shoes increased, and that's resulted in the gross profit being eaten away from $129 million down to $62 million. So then let's look at profitability on an overall basis. The company has never turned a profit. It had a $100 million loss in 2022, went up a little bit to $152 million in 2023, and this loss number has gotten smaller over the years, but they have never turned a profit. So as a result of all that, the share price dropped dramatically, dropped around 97%. Almost all of the valuation wiped out. Shoe industry, very, very competitive. Interest in the shoe just wasn't there. Then a miracle. Allbirds announced they were going to rebrand as Newbird AI, and we're going to pivot into leasing GPUs. So what that basically is leasing out computer processing power on a subscription basis or a pay-by-hour basis, building or acquiring large computer infrastructure to then lease that out to users to use. This was just an announcement. Not one piece of hardware was purchased. Not one customer contract was signed. It was simply an announcement of a pivot to Newbird AI. And guess what happened? The stock price increased 600% in one day. Absolutely insane, totally irrational. And with that, I'm really, really happy to announce that Tomo Finance is pivoting into AI, a vertically integrated AI infrastructure. I'm going to build the chips here in my spare room. I'm then going to lease them out to other companies. It's going to be amazing. And who can be an investor? Possibly you. I'm not really doing all that. Sometimes it can be hard to tell when you're in a bubble, but there are always signs. And be very cautious about companies that are simply mentioning the word AI and the massive changes in valuations that are occurring without any substance behind them yet. This has a very similar feeling to the dot-com bubble, the internet bubble in the 2000s, where all you had to do was mention that you were an internet company, a new internet company, and you would get these massive valuations, which ultimately resulted in the dot-com crash because there was no substance behind some of these businesses. One of the prime examples of the dot-com crash was this website called pets.com that spent $12 million on a Super Bowl ad, despite only having $600,000 in revenues, which meant they were losing a substantial amount of money. Inevitably, AI is going to become a big part of our lives, and there are going to be really, really good AI companies that hopefully earn a lot of money. So this is a word of caution. Be careful about companies trying to AI wash and increase a valuation without any substance behind them. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Are we currently in an AI bubble, and what are the markers for that? And if you enjoy investing content, consider subscribing to my channel. Take care.